The Sandbox video podcast is brought to you by smartShift, the global leader in intelligent automation for SAP transformations.
Hello, and welcome to the Sandbox video podcast. I'm your host, Joyce Kulhawick. Today, I am speaking with Mark Stupeck, Vice President of Information Technology at Tiffin Motorhomes. Tiffin is part of Thor Industries' family of motorhome brands. Thor, as many of you know, is a global leader in RV manufacturing. As the organization's IT leader, Mark is responsible for the systems, software infrastructure, and the technology operating model. One of Mark's primary major initiatives this year is leading the company through an SAP upgrade and delivering initial transformation initiatives. Prior to joining Tiffin, Mark held leadership positions at companies such as Flower, Honeywell, CHS, Bank of America, and PwC. He holds a bachelor's degree at California Polytechnic State U and an MBA from the University of California, Irvine. Mark, welcome, and where do we find you today?
Thank you, Joyce. It's a pleasure being here with you today. I am currently located in Minneapolis, Minnesota this week, but I spend most of the time down in Red Bay, Alabama.
Okay, let's jump in and start with a question about your company. And I have to confess that on my bucket list is to take a trip across country in a motorhome. So tell us about Tiffin Motorhomes. I know it's a family-run business.
That is correct. We are based in Red Bay, Alabama, and we were founded in 1972 by Bob Tiffin. And Mr. Bob has established a legacy that is really built on quality, folk around the motorized luxury motorhome, and also exceptional service. Mr. Bob is still active in the business today. In fact, I usually see him in the plant about 5:30 in the morning. So he's very active and engaged with the business. His son, Van, is also very engaged in the business, and he is heading up a lot of our activities around quality and people development in that area. And his grandson, Lee Tiffin, is the president of Tiffin organization and is responsible for the day-to-day operations. Now, Tiffin has about 1,200 employees across 3 manufacturing plants for our Class A motorhomes, our Class B motorhomes, and then the third one is our Class C motorhomes. As you mentioned, we became part of Thor Industries back in 2020, and Thor has been a very supportive partner in terms of making sure that we're able to develop and continue to build on the legacy that we've created here over the last 50 years in Red Bay, Alabama. And it's funny that you mentioned your bucket list and the dream, because really our mission statement is to be able to provide many adventures for that dream. And what we mean by that is most people that buy our products, they have a desire to go on adventures, explore, see the country, and spend that time with people special in their lives, their family, for example. And through the manufacturing of our vehicles, we help bring that dream to life and create that ability for them to have those adventures together. So in essence, Tiffin is really a customer-driven, customer-centric organization. And in doing that, it's our main objective is to really relentlessly pursue that ability to delight the customer, and that's through innovative quality products and exceptional service. And Mr. Tiffin's approach really now is preserving our legacy, growing the organization, and evolving to meet the changing market needs, and that's where information technology plays a central role.
I would imagine for a business that's been around for more than 50 years, you've had to respond to a lot of change, and information systems are certainly vital to the business and its operations. I understand that you are now in the process of even more change. a major back office system upgrade, as well as prioritizing roadmap transformation initiatives. So tell us about that. How did you decide that you needed an upgrade, and what is it that you hope to do better?
Oh, that's an excellent question, Joyce. As you mentioned, the motorhome industry has gone through rapid change, and coupled with that is technology is always changing. And one thing that we've learned is change is inevitable, but growth from that change is optional. And that really goes back to our desire to preserve, grow, and evolve, right? And what drove our decision to go through these transformation initiatives and ultimately start off with an upgrade to our SAP environment is we heard loud and clear that we need to be able to evolve with that technology and make it easier to do business with Tiffin. And that is for our valued dealer partners as well as our individual motor homeowners. And in doing so, our primary goal from an information technology standpoint is to really delight the customer. And that means really improving the employee, who are our customers, and our dealers and our ultimate motorhome owners improve their experience, right? So what we're trying to do then is really leverage that new technology in terms of innovating and delighting the customers, whether or not it's giving them the ability to interact directly with Tiffin through omni-channel capabilities. And we're really looking at how we engage with the dealers and engage with the customers. And to do that, it's imperative that we drive better information and equip all of our employees with the history of each motorhome coach, each owner, and be able to have that information at their fingertips. And in doing so, we're able to drive value into any customer interaction. And in doing so, also drive out inefficiencies or manual processes, ultimately driving cost out as well.
Mark, as you can imagine, our audience is very keen to learn more about that work. So bring us closer to the situation. Give us some specifics. How are you approaching this critical upgrade? What does the process entail, and how are you managing that?
In terms of the process, for example, if we were to just really focus in on the upgrade, right? Traditionally, historically, at Tiffin, a lot of the activities would be IT driven, and the business would come in and do a review and an approval of it. What we're really doing is making this upgrade and the transformation is not an IT project. It can't be. It needs to be a business led project. And we're really forcing ourselves to take a step back and look and say, let's not look at how we've always done things. Let's look at how we need to do things. What are the customers? What is the market demanding? Right? And by doing that, it helps us take that fresh look at our processes. And what we've done to date is we've identified over 370, 400 user stories across the organization. And then we walked through those and created off of those a family of test scripts and test scenarios that are either used for detailed specific testing or a regression test suite. And those are developed and written by the people that are using the technology today. And the reason we took that effort and did that activity was it gives us a foundation of this is where we are today. This is how we're using the system and the data that's coming through those processes so that we know where we're starting. And then we go ahead and springboard off of that in terms of what are the best practices, what are the processes that need to change, what are the capabilities that are available because of the technical upgrade.
Processes and technology are two parts of that famous golden triangle, the other part, of course, is people on both sides. Tiffin is not only a customer-driven company, but people are where the implementation plan comes into play. So how would you flesh out the people for us? No pun intended.
Excellent. Yeah, you are spot on in terms of people are critical in that golden triangle. And I really like to look at it actually as people, process, technology, and data. When it comes to people, the people, you need strong strategic leadership and support for the initiative. And that drives that engagement throughout the organization. And because you want to make sure that the organization is bought in and engaged, and the people need to be able to drive that adoption because they're the ones that are going to leverage that technology going forward. So our approach has always been to engage the business process owners, the stakeholders, and making sure that it is the number one priority for their departments in their areas, and then making sure that we engage the right people on the project and that it is a priority for them and that we free them up to actually focus on the initiative and the transformation project. Otherwise, it's really just an IT project, and that those are never really going to give you the full benefit of the value and the ROI that you need from a transformation project. And the data aspect that I mentioned is the foundation, because the business, the process owners, the people that are actually transacting and using the technology, they also know the data. They know the customers. They know what they're expecting in terms of output from the process and the system. So it's really having them be able to take ownership, not only of the process, but the data as well.
All of this sounds very practical and well thought out. So tell us where you are today with this initiative. Where are you in the whole process?
So we are rapidly approaching the upgrade, going from an older version of HANA 1709 to 2022. And we've upgraded some of our ancillary systems, such as around some of our e-commerce solutions and lockbox or cashbox activities and so forth. And we have also started our roadmap. You talked about the roadmap. And that roadmap really is now starting to layer in some of the newer SAP technologies, such as Build Technology Platform or BTP, Analytics Cloud, Sales Cloud, Service Cloud, CPQ. So we're now, based upon the upgrade, once that goes into place, now we'll go ahead and start realigning our processes and then start connecting and taking advantage of some of those newer cloud technologies.
Okay, well, it sounds like in a few months you're going to have lots of perspective to share with our audience about this journey. We would love to have you back so you can give us an update. What do you think?
That would be great.
Fantastic. I'm looking forward to our next conversation. And that said, Mark, it has really been a pleasure talking with you today. Thank you so much for spending time with all of us here today.
The Sandbox video podcast was brought to you by smartShift, the global leader in intelligent automation for SAP transformations.